Right, okay. So, okay, how are you? Berapa orang yang dah hadir kat dalam kampus? Boleh tahu tak? Siapa? Minggu depan Okay, alright. Okay, kejap ambil attendance dulu. Mana attendance? Satu. Okay, I have posted apa nama ni, attendance link in the chat. So please fill in right now. I would like to close in another 5 minutes. Cuba refresh balik. Boleh? Okay. Good. 30 orang. "27 responded. I think a few more. We have 30 right now. So 27 already respond. Another 3. Kita respond double tak? Tadi. Mana lagi 3? Siapa lagi yang tak fill in? Yang dah fill in Carmen, Marzuki, Ui Jinping, Kui, Vekneswara, Kui sebut macam mana? KUY. Chuang Yi, Vekneswaran, Wang Kayang, Kui Kui.
Yes.
Muhaimin, Sabir, Izham, Syazwan, Chuntek, Haikal, Adwa, Ashwa, Syafiq, Tong Yongkin, Muhammad Syauqi, Teng Kai Meng, Muhammad Izzat, Samsudin, Izzat Akmal, Chia Zintong, Sharwin, Yoh Wee Kang, Nik Muhammad Awis, Mirza, Mak Rabi Khan, Vikul. Yang tu je respon. Lagi 3 orang tak tahu siapa ni. Tak tengok balik nama.
Doktor, boleh share balik link?
Saya balik lagi. Siapa tu?
Tak sure.
Okay.
Zaidi.
Okay. Right. Saya tak nampak nama Kuhen lah. Ashwa, Kuhen dalam grup you kan? Ashwa ada sini tak? Dia silap kelas ni. Sekejap. Ha. Ashwa ke Devendran ke boleh respon tak? Have you seen Kuhen?
Hi sir. Sekejap saya try call dia sekejap.
Sebab saya rasa tak pernah nampak nama dia. Okay, alright. So, may I know, have you discussed with your group?
Yes, Doktor.
Ada siapa-siapa nak buat sharing tak?
Doktor, mind map je lah dah buat. Tu pun nak double check dengan doktor actually.
Okay, penting. Okay, mind map. Saya nak okay, cuba share satu.
Let's go.
Saya nak sebab saya rasa saya ada satu kelas lagi satu. Confuse juga antara mind map dan juga objective 3. Sebenarnya dia dua benda yang berbeza.
Boleh doktor.
Okay.
Screen 2.
Wah.
Jangan. Let. Tak apa, biar je. Okay. Sekejap. Oh ya, mute. Okay. So doktor,
Yeah.
so kita dah buat perbincangan. Ada 5, sebabkan ada 5 orang, so kita ambil 5 topik lah.
Oh, macam tu eh?
Ah. Sebab what I understand is that your idea was that everybody have to do their own background research for that particular topic. So macam, okay, this one is the safest way lah.
Okay,
So
right.
after that, so we all together cari berlima, what are the topics that we want to focus on. So we started with safety, functionality, consumer ergonomics and economics. So daripada tu kita guna a fair way to determine siapa dapat which one, guna spin wheel. So basically random lah siapa yang dapat mana satu. So we couldn't choose and pick which one we exactly want. So for example, this one is safety. Insulator material, protective cover, use heat insulator material at the motor engine, no sharp edge at the tip. So this one was done by Marzuki, sorry. And functionality was done by
Kejap. Pergi dekat safety jap nak tengok. No
Safety,
sharp
okay.
edges at the tip. No sharp edges at the tip. Can reduce injury. Okay, this one tak betul.
I see.
Sebabnya, okay, what can you relate no sharp edge at the tip ni dengan currently practice cutting mechanism?
I see. Okay.
Kan? Dia bukannya this is the thing yang bubble map berbeza dengan objective 3. Objective, sebab nama pun objective 3, so basically what do you want at the end of the day? So what do you want to achieve at the end of the day? So that is objective. Okay, so that is the difference between objective 3 compared to bubble map. Bubble map ni basically what is the current in terms of definition contohnya, in terms of where it going to cut. Okay, what types of cutting, what are the tools involved. Okay, bila contohnya kita kata tools, tools for cutting the apa ni FFB, palm oil punya tu. Okay, so dekat tu nak guna apa aku? Dia ada chisel, dia ada apa nama lagi, sabit tu, and then apa lagi yang digunakan. So you expand daripada situ. Dia konsep dia what? Apa. You sendiri yang tanya. Contohnya apa lagi yang dia what is the cutting tool yang digunakan. So, you sendiri yang tanya, you sendiri yang cuba jawab. Kemudian you expand lagi. Okay, so macam contohnya insulator material dia tak ada kena-mengena pun. Kan? Betul tak? It's not this insulator material is not related kan? True
Tak, saya fikir sebab rod dia tu dia belum pakai apa yang material dia. Tapi sejenis rod besi lah. So saya macam fikir what if kalau ada macam lightning ke, diorang terpegang rod tu ke. So
maybe
it's better
makes sense.
to salut benda tu dengan elochrome ke. Benda yang
Okay, saya faham. Bila you cakap what if, maksudnya dia benda yang you project ke depan. Apa yang you nak. Betul Yang
betul.
itu masuk dekat dalam.
Objective tree.
Ya.
I see.
Oh.
Sekarang ni
Okay.
kita cerita apa yang ada. Apa yang digunakan sekarang.
Okay,
Okay.
so
So kita kena baca, explore more lah. Contoh macam katakanlah safety kan. So katakanlah bila kita tengoklah video yang saya tunjuk selepas tu Sam Dhabi tu, chisel tu pahat tu, dia ada tutup dengan casing. Oh, so that is safety lah. So same goes kalau contoh macam sabit, okay, dia ada cover tu. So that is safety. So what else? So itu yang you kena cari, bukan apa yang you nak masukkan. Kita explore apa yang ada sekarang. Sekarang punya, bukan apa yang kita
I see.
nak ke depan. Tak. Yang sekarang ni ada apa. So what is basically all the tools, equipment in terms of safety related to with the current practice in the industry.
So doktor, this one saya buat objektif ke ni?
Dia ada a few, contohnya macam protective cover kan, sickle blade, chisel blade. Scissor blade ni common lah, okay, dia ada cover. So maybe you kena, okay, daripada cover ni you juga boleh expand. So what types of cover it is? Kalau nak expand lagi, what is material used for this cover? Is there any mechanism of locking mechanism ke untuk protect this sickle? Ataupun just fit in, press fit je? So you boleh expand to that extent tau. Kita nak macam tu supaya dia lebih jelas setiap satu tu apa maksud dia. Kita yang current. Kalau contohnya macam insulator material ke apa benda tu, bolehlah letak untuk objektif. Apa yang you nak capai at the end of the day. At the end of this project, this product akan ada apa. Contoh safety, okay, dia ada insulator. Contohlah kalau involve dengan electrical. Kalau dia tak involve, tak ada lah. Right tak? Okay?
Betul.
Doktor, sekejap. Nak reconfirm balik lah. So actually basically bubble map benda yang kita kaji yang dah ada maksudnya.
Ya, dah ada. Konsep dia market search ke, anything yang related dengan contohnya katakanlah, okay, even palm oil ni apa? Contoh benda paling fundamental, asas lagi. Berapa weight dia normally? So what types of process involved daripada buah kelapa sawit nak pergi jadi minyak masak contohnya. So you expand lah. Itu satu konsep. Itu satu on definition of palm oil. What types of fruit? Okay, jenis-jenis buah dia apa? Boleh juga kernel ke dia punya tu, okay, you boleh expand. Dan kita pergi, okay, now kita kata how to harvest the FFB. So you expand harvest. Okay, harvest lah, what types of harvest involved? Cutting ke, manual, automatic. So kalau automatic guna apa? So expand benda tu. Nampak?
Boleh.
So kita pergi, you explore the current punya information yang ada related to the problem statement lah. Okay. Related to the problem statement. Boleh?
Boleh.
Okay, so saya rasa the other group pun akan sama macam ni lah.
Okay. Kalau just nak tengok macam yang ni, kalau macam functionality, chisel is the current one, short tree, sickle, possible damage to the fruit. This one related to the current technology should be okay lah kan?
Okay, strain on back. Okay, betul. So maksudnya you
Okay.
class, sorry. Patah balik atas.
Sorry.
Dekat sickle tu kan. So nampak macam there is drawbacks. Ataupun
Drawbacks,
kesan,
okay.
ataupun dia punya complication, consequence ke complications ke, strain on back when used. So itu you letakkan satu bubble, maybe dia punya consequence, kesan penggunaan sickle for long time.
I see.
Betul lah kan, straight on back. So jangan tinggalkan circle tu. Orang tak boleh nak relate apa kaitan circle tu dengan straight on back website. Kita tak nampak topik dia. So basically ini akan jadi you punya group punya research background. Senang dah. Cuma dekat sini is dia punya summary je. In terms of point.
Dia punya main point je.
Main point je. So later bila you buat research background, you dah macam compile dekat dalam you punya report tu, chapter 1 tu dah detail based on ni. Dia boleh refer sini ya. Okay.
Boleh?
Okay, alright.
Okay, untuk consumer basically dia fokus ni bahagian untuk Anma pula. Centralize the occupant. Not really sure, but this one kaitan dengan who are possible consumers for the product, for this kind of tool.
Dia bukan, okay, bila kita cerita sekali lagi, dia bukan pasal possibility.
I see.
Dia berkenaan who is the customer right now.
I see.
Okay. Alright.
Okay, this is ergonomics.
Okay, nanti bulan 12 I will invite my colleague my classmate during my degree time. He will be given a talk on human factor in engineering design. So basically he right now become a member of ergonomics punya society. Then he will give a talk lah on this ergonomics. So later
Professional.
hopefully they will give you advantage on this. Tapi later on lah bulan 12.
Okay.
Alright.
This one economics, macam this one I did based on operating costs. How do you reduce operating costs, reliable design. This one mungkin masuk objective 3 lah kan, this one.
Betul. Yes, correct.
Okay.
Sekejap. Maintenance able to sharpen when needed. Long interval between
Reliable design. Because this one I actually ambil daripada internet lah, just to see what are the factors that increase the reliability.
Reliability as well can become one of the main topic rather than become subtopic under
I
maintenance.
see. I can put
Betul
it
tak?
outside lah.
Betul.
Okay.
Sebab when we talking about sometimes kenapa kita beli this product, because of this product is reliable. So how do you define reliable?
I see.
For example as well to even sharpen how frequent we need to sharpen
Sure.
that one also in terms of reliability, not under maintenance. Maintenance is that kita tengok sekarang ni ini saya cakap ni in terms of objective objective 3 later on. So kalau in terms of maintenance, what do you define maintenance? Contohnya dia tak perlukan banyak compartment, only one single part sahaja. For example lah. So kita tak perlu service yang lain, kita kena bersihkan dia punya tooling, that's it. So maintenance very low maintenance, dan normally once kita relate dengan maintenance, kita the way kita assemble and disassemble the main mechanical component that involve motion and so on, normally kita akan buat konsep modular. Supaya kita
modular.
bila taken out, contohnya you nak maintain your kereta kan, tak perlu nak buka chassis.
Tak payah replace the whole thing.
So just buka hood untuk ambil engine je. So kita panggil modular design. Untuk nak maintain tayar, you tak perlu nak buka the whole engine, tak. You just keluarkan tayar je lah. So kita panggil, dia ada konsep modular. So kita tahu kat mana join untuk assemble, kat mana untuk disintegrate modular konsep ni. Itu juga masuk under maintenance lah. Okay.
So would the maintenance still be correct? This part lah would be correct. This part still correct lah. Okay. For example, this is the power, and then I did research pasal electric powered, gas powered dengan human labour. Kalau electric and gas powered, what are the cost and benefit lah? So this is our current one. Human labour performance may degrade over time, requires lengthy breaks when exhausted. This is our current situation. And then let's say if we ambil electrically powered, initial cost for investment is very high, but running cost is very low. So this one patut masuk objective 3 ataupun boleh simpan sini?
Sebab dia general ayat you letak tu yang tak boleh nak relate.
Saya nak buat panjang-panjang pun takut tak muat.
Betul lah tak, sebab this is okay. So far nampak macam okay, tapi later on dia macam saya pernah sebut, tak semestinya it's not necessarily objective 3 100% sama macam bubble map. But somehow some of the point from the bubble map can become objective 3.
I see.
Okay, so based on macam tadi lah, the possibility you predict you want to have this thing on your final product, so you kena masukkan dalam objective 3 lah. So if not, tak perlu.
I see. So
Okay, so
for
kita tengok yang
example,
mana kita boleh masukkan. At the end of the
macam
day, this is the things that you want,
hmm,
the features of our
yang wajib.
product.
Okay. So macam contohnya ada cumulative gas power, electric power ni kemungkinan akan ambil satu je lah antara tiga ni untuk dalam objective 3.
Ya,
I
betul.
see. Okay.
Correct dah ni
I
you buat in terms
understand
of power tu.
exactly. Okay. So macam fixed cost is to material and manufacturing cost. Sebab to material, I guess if you
Fixed
memang nak
cost for
production
harvesting
lah.
lah. Betul tu
Hmm.
lah.
Okay. So macam this is target time for improvement. This one I did some research using the annual report daripada Sam Darby Plantation. So
Okay.
I first determine the wish cost is about this one per second. And then I cari dia punya yield using the hectare yang they actually own, and then dia punya output per hectare, and then I divided by the weight of one FFB. So dapat this number of FFB, and then total save cost basically the number of FFB kali, let's say we jimat 5 second kali dengan the amount of money per second. So let's say we can jimat the process by 5 second, we would jimat Sadabi by 1.7 million. So
Alright, yang ini masuk dekat objektif.
Okay, yang ni
Tapi boleh ada kat sini, tak ada masalah, tapi nanti
Okay.
masukkan juga ke dalam objektif.
boleh.
Okay.
So ni just definition to produce a high quality product at lower cost resulting in higher value.
Ya, productivity tu.
Mm-mm.
Okay.
Okay.
Good. Alright.
So overall, Doktor bila
Yeah,
tengok
overall
ni
boleh kata macam nampak to be frank around 30% je kot, correct.
I see.
Dia ada tu macam tak berapa, not really related, so nak kena improve lagi lah.
Tapi kalau doktor tengok kami buat macam ni pun tak apalah kan, sebab
Boleh.
boleh.
Cuma
Okay.
dekat bahagian tengah. Okay, I think okay. Let me share
Okay, let
slide
me
yang lama.
unshare.
Okay.
How do I unshare?
Ada stop sharing nak atas kat skrin tu, jadi turun dia punya bar tu, stop sharing.
Oh, ni dia. Okay.
Thank you Mirza.
Oh, aku terus
Hidup Miza.
Kau ni satu grup ke grup lain-lain ni?
sorry doktor.
Lain.
Mana dia? Okay, ni. Right. Okay, so what you have seen, mana saya punya ni? Yep. Okay, so basically at the middle of your bubble map tu, tadi kalau kita tengok contoh macam group 1, group 1 Group 1 macam korang buat tadi problem apa ni, kalau letak cutting mechanism. Sebenarnya mechanism tu can be one of this bubble. Macam ni. At the middle ni kena start dengan dia punya what is the problem segment. Kita dah tahu lah in terms of apa ni manual cutting. So traditional one dia nakkan apa nama ni mechanization on that lah, sama ada fully auto or semi auto. So kita punya design brief ataupun kita punya mission statement adalah untuk provide semi auto ataupun ke arah mechanization of harvesting punya techniques lah. Okay, so that is dekat sini tengah-tengah ni. So bila you pecah you punya bubble, you boleh tengok macam ni lah, simple macam ni, what is the current problem. Seorang ambil. Okay, first guy ambil. Ya. Nampak tak?
Tak nampak.
Apa benda lah. Kejap. Kenapa dia jadi macam tu?
Dia freeze kot doktor.
Stress tu lah. Penat cerita.
Eh,
Nampak? Kalau ni ada X ni. Okay. Ada masalah tu. Okay. So kalau nak cerita kena patah balik ni. Kejap. Okay. So basically tadi contohnya macam group 1 buat tu, dia ada buat okay, group 1 ada buat tadi. So here basically you buat cutting mechanism. So supposed to be dia duduk kat sini lah cutting ni. It become one of the bubble outside. So yang supposedly dekat bahagian tengah ni, this is your problem lah. Traditional cutting. Then because of shortage of labour and policy of our government, so we would like to design a mechanization techniques for harvesting. Right? So this is become at the center of your bubble map. So whatever you want to expand this bubble, another bubble, you would like to pergi pada what is the main topic. So for example current problem, so orang ambil, first guy ambil. So what is method of harvesting, another guy ambil. Okay, so in terms of regulation, maybe in terms of policy ke dan sebagainya, seorang ambil. Okay, and then you pergi pada tadi for example economy, or maybe pergi pada productivity. Okay, another guy ambil. So this is how do you expand your bubble map. So basically ini current dia current, you explore, you do the research background based on the current, bukan apa yang you nak. So if you say about what do you want, so basically that is what you want to achieve. It will you need to place that bubble ke that parameter in the objective tree. Alright. So seperti mana dah habis dah ni. Ni mana? Alright. Okay. So boleh sekadar recap semula lah. Ada soalan tak? Ada group lain? Ada soalan?
Doktor, just to confirm this, basically kita nak everything yang current issue.
Ya, related sekarang.
100%. I see.
Ha.
Okay.
Dan contoh juga kita boleh ambil kenapa ada isu ke dengan labor. Satu, the first one because of government policy. Is there any other issue? Kita juga kena baca apa? Apa tadi? Gaji tak cukup boleh naikkan. That is not the main issue. Palm oil industry ni kaya.
Kalau kata high labor cost,
Tak juga. That is not the main issue
Tak juga?
sebenarnya.
Okay.
The shortage of labour,
production-
one of it because of COVID situation, satu. Keduanya is because of the European policies. Okay. So this is that you need to kena baca. Apa Europe kata, apa US kata. So because of that, we cannot penetrate their market. So that's why currently palm oil Malaysia divert to mana? India and juga China.
Doktor,
Ya. Yeah.
kita kata apa Europe apa tak AS. Tu spec Is it spec?
Bukan, that is the sekatan yang berlaku. Kenapa shortage of labour tu?
Oh.
So, kalau you nak expand, you punya understanding lah.
Doktor,
You can
kalau
do that.
how about production rate? If we kaitkan dengan
Production rate in terms of apa? Palm oil punya ni.
ya.
Palm oil, kalau you nak compare antara Sam Dhabi, antara within the companies in Malaysia, boleh lah compare. Tapi kena baca lah. So for example, Sam Dhabi berapa dia punya productivity. Tadi contohnya macam Mirza ada buat. Okay, and then you compare with other company. For example, FGV. Pelda Group. Itu apa? Okay, and then with another company lah yang ada dekat dalam Malaysia. Yang kita boleh compare dia punya data. Boleh buat. Tapi somehow bila kalau baca balik yang tadi saya letakkan, at the center of your bubble map must be related to the problem statement. But somehow it could be to expand the understanding. You can do in many ways lah.
Okay.
Alright, okay. Ada soalan lain? Grup lain okey? Ada grup lain? Senyap je ni. Grup 2 dah buat grup 2.
Weka, I choose you.
Ya betul, tapi kita buat macam brainstorm lah. So
Belum. Dah ada dokumen dah? You dah noted ke belum? Dah note ke belum?
yang mana satu?
Yang bubble map lah, ada buat tak?
Ada.
Boleh share?
Boleh? Sekejap
Ah.
Clear tak?
Okay, boleh. Kejap, apa
So,
nama ni tadi Mirza, you punya group buat mind map pakai apa?
Kami guna banyak-banyak app actually. Lepas tu kita gabung dekat Google Slide.
Banyak-banyak app tu apa?
Macam saya punya guna Simple Mind dekat handphone.
Okay, alright.
Simple Mind. Yep.
Okay. Sambung.
okay, so macam kami fokus dalam mechanism to reach and access yang oil palm tree tu lah.
Okay.
And then sini ada beberapa mechanism lah macam apa ni? Climbing
Climbing.
machine. And then long stick yang sabit tu lah.
Okay.
And then
Drone.
yang lain tu macam kita brainstorm lah macam drone, lift elevator, machine arm, macam crane, and then monkey.
Tak terfikir pula.
Yeah, and then kita evaporate sikit macam dia punya advantage disadvantage lah macam ni. So macam brainstorm lah, memang bukan yang mind map tu.
Okay, alright. Okay, saya nampak there is a point. There are a lot of point. Okay, so next thing, my suggestion is that bila you bincang pasal mechanism to reach access oil palm oil tree, so the first question bila you buat brainstorming kan, the first question boleh tak saya tahu apa? The first question. Bila you tengok tajuk tu mechanism to reach and access oil palm tree, the first question apa?
The first question macam mana?
Macam how kan? So
Aha.
how to reach and access. How to
Yes.
reach and access. So that one become your first maybe the first topic lah, the first bubble after the center one. Okay?
Okay.
How to reach ke, how to access ke. So letak that one is the first one. So the other climbing machine, long stick, drone and so on ni you masuk that under that bubble. Okay. Bila you don't expand yet and then you may ask second question. Probably apa?
Other than how lah. Apa?
Other than how apa?
Ada
The group member boleh support boleh bantu.
Why?
Why? Why apa? Why apa? Why would like to reach? So why apa? So kena tengok. So maybe what is the size of the fruit? So what is the weight? So you pergi the second topic is that you discuss detail pasal dia punya FFB tu. Fresh fruit bunches tu. You discuss detail pasal tu. You nak tengok loading ke, dia punya weight, dia punya size of dia punya apa kita panggil tu, tandan dia punya tu, tandan sawit tu. What is the size? You can go to that detail. So bila nanti contoh for example you nak access, you nak reach, you kena ambil kira all those element. So you kena tengok question apa you nak tanya. Then you expand it. Hopefully benda ni boleh selesaikan segera lah. Kita nak pergi ni banyak lagi Boleh? Alright?
Boleh.
Okay, thank you. Group 3 ada buat tak?
Grup 3 masih lagi dengan research masing-masing betul?
Masing-masing tu mesti dah ada topik dia
Dah bagikan lah, cuma dia belum point out untuk share dalam dalam bentuk bubble map.
Okay, alright. Group 4?
Sama juga betul.
Sama juga.
Assessment.
Group 5?
Kami pun sama juga doktor, brainstorm idea je dulu, belum buat mind map lagi.
Okay. Group 6?
Yes, Doctor, we already done the first mind map lah, but not sure correct or wrong. Wait,
Okay, tak apa.
I will share the screen now.
Okay. Should I call you apa Kui ke Chong Yi? Kui. Correct kan?
Correct.
Cantik. Ni macam pakai dekat Apple je ni. Betul ke?
Sorry.
Ni guna ni pakai apps apa?
Google.
Google.
COGGLE the online one, the
Tak
online.
pernah guna. Oh ni ada atas ni tajuk ni. Google made it for free. Okay. Oh nice.
Okay, so the mind map we just like summary what we know about the oil palm tree lah. Like we have two types of the oil palm tree, like young one and the mature one, and also
Okay.
how the oil palm tree, the harvesting process lah, like the cutting stage, then collecting and deliver and unloading. So we just list down lah what we know and what we want to anything we know about the oil palm tree from the videos and also online sources. And this is the layout we sketch lah from the video also.
Okay.
So,
Layout ni you ambil kat mana?
layout ni dari YouTube yang Dr. share lah. So we just sketch lah, like the approximate distance between the three trees and
The arrangement I don't know because you take this one from video lah and then you sketch balik
yeah.
Okay, supposed to be the arrangement is in triangle.
Triangle. Oh.
Triangle. Dia punya arrangement tu triangle.
Because we know that they are the drain lah. The drain
Betul.
beside the
So
the tree.
macam mana saya nak ni Saya boleh notate ke? Sekejap. Okay, request take notate. Boleh approve dah
Okay.
Okay, so dia punya arrangement dia akan jadi macam ni. Baik. Okay, so X kat sini. Apa dia lambat sangat ni?
Oh, triangle.
Okay, X kat sini. So nanti another 3 pun, you can ada another triangle lah.
Oh, okay.
Another triangle kat sini. So macam tu lah. In triangle shape. Tu apa yang be implemented by SAMDABI.
Oh,
Dia punya distance tu later on saya rasa boleh dapat kot. Kalau tak ada dapat nanti kita cari lah. Saya boleh turun dapatkan lah. Because I need to have, I will visit them in next week kot. Kalau ada siapa-siapa nak ikut tapi cost sendiri lah. Okay. Alright.
And then we also list down the issues lah, the current issues in the oil palm tree field. Like manpower issue, productivity issue, environment issue.
I think this one better. I think almost complete lah. Because what you need to do is list down. You keep searching. You see the video. What other else information that you can add up.
Yeah.
I think this somehow a good example of current punya bubble map concept. Okay. So design solution. I think this is more looks like. Wait. Vacuum collector with filter, last shift. This one is list down or you want the final design to be?
Yeah, I think this one is the idea lah of our thinking, the design solution. But
Okay.
in this mind map lah.
Okay, right. Okay.
So is it in the objective 3 for the design solution?
Sebab bila you buat design solution ni ada Caesarly robotic arm kan, ni masuk dekat morphology nanti.
Oh, okay.
Morphology chart. Kan? Sebab dia pergi pada feature function and shape. Okay?
Okay, so we need to delete this one or we just put in.
You can remake it here. Tak
Okay.
ada masalah. Tapi the best way is that you explore the current lah. Apa yang digunakan in the industry. Tak spesifik SAMDABI. You boleh tengok pada industri-industri, company-company yang lain lah. Okay? I think this is good. Okay,
Okay.
ada lagi? Tak ada dah?
Tak ada.
Alright, okay, thank you Kui.
Thank you.
Alright, okay. So basically setiap group masih hutang dengan saya dua. Okay. Satu is bubble map. Second class because you dah belajar introduction to design dulu. Saya cuba nak tengok sikit dan kita kena buat. So jangan tangguh jangan tangguh. Because every class nanti kita akan ada banyak benda yang kita nak kena buat. Dan of course saya akan request a submission. I think after week 4 kot, week 5 saya akan minta submission dulu, assignment, and then you kena submit report, first draft, first half of the report before mid semester break. So you boleh break dengan happy lah. So before mid semester break you submit first report. So this is really important. Okay, so kena speed up sikit lah dia punya task. Okay, banyakkan perbincangan, segerakan benda-benda yang sepatutnya. Alright, so for today saya nak masuk berkenaan dengan PDS. PDS ni pendek je, nanti saya akan masuk terus lepas PDS kita akan masuk kepada konsep. Okay. Right. You nampak full mode screen ke ataupun you masih nampak PowerPoint punya template ni?
PowerPoint.
Macam mana Kenapa dia jadi macam tu? Semalam saya share masuk student tu buat tak tahu je lah. Wah, pegang tu.
Siapa?
Aduh, semua buat dia je.
Tidur.
Alright, okay. So basically PDS ni you dah tahu pun, you dah belajar waktu I2D. So basically saya nak recap semula. Alright, so product design specification kita bagi PDS. Alright, so the next phase after research background lah. So basically the needs mana dia punya ni? Okay. The need has been given. The problem, the issues has been provided to you. Okay, so you need to do the research background for this one to get what? To get my map or bubble map. Okay, and then the other thing of this, you kena dapatkan objective 3. Kenapa nak dapatkan objective 3? Because of you want what basically the final features that you want in your product based on your problem. You want to solve that problem, so you go for research background. Okay, you buat summary, ringkasan through the bubble map or mind map concept. Done with that, you proceed with the objective 3 because you have search. You want to solve that problem. So how to solve that problem? So what we want to achieve at the final of our product through the objective 3. For example, performance. So when we say about performance, what are the things we target? Okay. And then after that, settle with that objective 3, what do you want? So we proceed with the PDS. So we want to set what is our product specification. Okay, this is yang you dah buat sebelum ni lah waktu I2D. Right? Okay, so PDS will give you limit, okay, to your design. This is important. That's why you kena bincang betul-betul, you kena dapatkan satu finding. Okay, contohnya to reach for example group apa tadi? Group 2. You want to access and reach the POM L3. So you kena set what is the range of the tree. You nak pakai 5 meter, 10 meter, you kena set. So that will limit your design. So kita tak nak you set, okay kita nak pergi up to maximum 30 meter. Come on. Okay, better to set in terms of the medium one, nak pergi pada for example 5 to 10 meter. So this is you set the limit in terms of average. That is the easiest way. Jangan set, okay kita akan reach 10 meter. Okay, for example, once you conduct your concept generation, you buat modeling 3D model, and then you try buat dia punya visual prototyping, tak sampai 10 meter, you dapat 8 meter sahaja. Okay, so nak kata apa? Your solution is not correct lah, because dia tak follow PDS. PDS mention 10 meter. So this is where kita bagi ruang, tolerance, so that you can have an range. Okay, whatever jatuh dalam range tu, then that is Okay. Alright. Okay, so mana datang value 5, mana datang value 10. This is from your research background. From your searching. From your market search. Bila search guna pattern juga. Okay. So PDS will automatically develop from a good research background. Alright. PDS will comprise statement of need. Ni penting. Ada maybe some class yang saya buat dulu masa I2D. Saya I think I put in summary in a table form. Okay, siapa yang kelas I2D yang saya dulu. But somehow we have discussed and then we would like to put if you want to have that kind of simplified table also can. For example, sizing. The first column sizing. The description you put the parameter or the value of that sizing. That is okay. But somehow you need to have the full statement of needs. Okay, I will show you example after this. Okay, and then attributes of design specification. Okay, this is example of PDS. For example, the statement of need to design and build design to win robot for robo combat competition. Okay, so design spec is what must follow game regulation. This is design spec, the first design spec. Okay, put the weight maximum 25 kilogram. So means that if this robo combat 1 kilogram also acceptable. Okay, so what is the size? Mention maximum. So whatever value below that value is okay. So that is how we interpret the specification. Okay, so must be able to move or return to its original orientation. Ini penting So kalau for example, if you propose concept later on, which not follow this move or return, your concept will be scrapped. Alright, so because you are not following the PDS. Alright, for example, maximum traction. So here didn't mention any value. This is a bit tricky, but somehow my suggestion, this is not the correct way. You need to put what is the maximum value. Okay, so maybe you put in a range. So to because why we need maximum traction? Because to ensure that our robot can win during that competition. So what is the traction that you want? So we need to specify so that you target that specification, you will design based on that one. Okay, so cannot stand when the robot is stand by its side. Okay, and maximum budget due to constraint and must be able to stand impact load of certain forces. Okay, so you need to describe up to certain details to ensure everybody in your group clear. So what do you want to achieve? Okay, alright. This is the design specification provided by Alman. So Alman categorize it. Alright. So for good design specification, in terms of functional performance, okay, required of the product to behave, you can put in terms of energy, in terms of materials, in terms of information. So kalau you baca dekat sini, these three flow, okay, flow of energy, flow of materials and flow of information, this will relate a lot with your function. For example lah, you nak pull the trigger. Okay, you want to pull the trigger pistol tu, you nak pull the trigger. So what are the flow of energy involved? From your finger to the trigger. So how to pull? So once you pull the energy, you give the energy, transfer energy to the trigger will will store the kinetic energy and press the spring and then push the piston. Okay, so that's the concept. What is the material? Flow for the material. Basically, I would like to simplify this thing in terms of as a mechanical engineer, you already learn free body diagram and so on. And also you have learned about the force flow. So this is where you can locate at the end of the day where the end of the flow at which location. Okay, and then you may refer to the operational steps as well as the operational sequence in order. So this is we are looking in terms of functional performance, in terms of function. Okay, also we can embed put the certain parameters in terms of human factor. Okay, so related to human sense. Okay, in terms of appearance, aesthetics. Doctor, how to put aesthetic and measure in objective manner? So how can we measure aesthetic? You can if a lot of things is depend on the human perception, you can put in a scale. So later I will show you. Okay, and then physical requirement about the physical properties as well as available spatial envelope lah. Okay, continuing from this, reliability as well can become one of your aspect in the PDS. So what are we looking at in the reliability? Mean time between failure. Okay, so what is the mean time between failure? Okay, our apa nama ni harvesting techniques for 10 times only and then it will fails. That one is not reliable. Better to use the old version. It can last long how many years? Alright. So how to calculate? Can we analyze? It will stand, for example, for 10 years. Okay, you need to calculate based on static and also dynamic cycling analysis. We are going to fatigue analysis. Is there any fatigue point in that particular apa nama tu cutting tu? The cutting tools. So to that extent, we can expect so here you put reliability, for example, 10 years. Then you need to prove later on in your calculation, you can prove that it can withstand up to 10 years. Okay, safety, hazard assessment. Okay, life cycle concern in terms of distribution, maintainability, okay, testability, instability, and also retirement. Okay, you need to calibration and changing lah. But normally life cycle ni kita concern in terms of maintainability punya issues. Okay. Alright. This is also continued from the last one. Okay, resources concern. Is there any issue with with the time? Okay, time constraint ke? For example, you like this system design, you punya time constraint how much? You have another 10 weeks to complete this project. So that is times kena put in terms of resources concern. Okay, is a cost concern? I think yes, cost is concern. What about your capital expenditure, your capex needed, and then how many units that you require? Is there any equipment standards to be referred, to be followed? Is there any environmental impact? Okay, once you conduct this thing, so you need to set. Okay, this we will use this sustainability kind of material so it will not impact to the environment. Okay, so no toxicity and so on. Okay, so in terms of manufacturing, so what is the specification that you want in terms of material? Jangan letak doctor, our material is steel. Come on guys, you have learned material science. Okay, what types of steel? Our material is aluminium. Aluminium do you refer to pure aluminium or aluminium alloy? So what types of grade of aluminium alloy do you refer? Okay, so you need to be specific. Maybe doctor, at this level we cannot specify yet, but somehow this is we will go into category. We would like to select material with that have a corrosion resistance. So this example of this material, for example, okay, aluminium alloy, for example, titanium, for example, stainless steel. This is kind of category, but we don't specify yet. But somehow we will go to the corrosion resistant material. That kind of example lah. Okay, another case that almost student would like to do, we put plastic. Okay, plastic. What types of plastic are you refer? Thermoplastic. What types of polymer are you refer? So this is the thing you need to figure out. Kan, dah tahun 4, you are the final year student. Next year you will become an engineer. So better to be specific. So quantity, how many quantity that you want to produce? Okay, in terms of manufacturing is there any issues on equipment? Dekat, for example, if you can access our lab later on, is there any equipment issues so that you can the fabrication required lah. For example, doctor, we would like to use the 3D metal 3D printing, doctor. So that will be the issues for mechanical or UTM right now. So you need to assess the outsiders from the other company that we can assess the metal 3D printing. Okay, so this is how we look for our design specification. So good design specification. Okay, each specification should have one customer requirement. Okay, ideally each spec, which is each parameter, should measure multiple requirement. Ideally, but somehow normally kita buat one customer requirement only. So one spec for one reason. Okay, each spec should be measurable in terms of quantity, in terms of unit. Unit must be clear. Like somehow yesterday I have a class, he did mention to make apa dia nak buat kind of segregator punya machine lah. Then he put there the value there 400 cm. 400 cm time by 400 cm time by 400 cm. Saya cakap biar betul 400 cm, betul ke? Betul doktor 400 cm. Maksudnya tinggi ni, cakap 4 meter. Cakap, oh no, it's a 400 mm. So means that unit is not, is critical. Same goes to whatever calculation you create lah. Okay, so please be careful in terms of unit. Okay, if unit is not measurable in terms of looks good, okay, this will refer to a lot of human factor. Okay, aesthetic value and so on. So must be use scale to ease us to give rate. So the scale number 1 is ugly, 2 tolerable, 3 acceptable, 4 attractive, and 5 is superb. And then you decide, you set the minimum scale is number 4. That is the accepted one for your product design specification. Okay? Dah, habis. Okay, we will see the example of PDS that I would like. Ni. WhatsApp Yeah. Okay, kejap ni. Is there any question tak? Ada Alright. Okay, we will see the example. Is Sabir is here?
Yes, doctor.
Okay. Is there any question from you?
So far, no, it's okay, sir.
Alright, okay. Okay, this is example of PDS in a statement of need. Okay, you must be put in a statement. Last time I thought my I2D class I summarize in terms of table. There is for introduction class lah. But somehow for system design, we have agreed upon to make in terms of statement. Okay, so how do you want to do a statement? So the first one, you put your mission statement. Okay, mission statement. Here is a beach cleaning machine. Okay, beach cleaning machine is a machine that can help us to make our beach safe and clean by collecting waste such as plastic bags, bottled water, cigarette butt, paper product, and seaweeds. Okay, so the aim of this machine is to help the municipal councils and cities keep the beaches clean by replacing the manual labor to clean the beach. This is the mission statement. Alright? Okay, settle with that. This is your first PDS parameter in terms of performance. The machine must be able to collect waste, must be able to convey waste, must be able to separate waste, must be able to contain waste, and must be able to remove leftover. Okay? Can you guess this is for what? The first statement here. Can you guess this is for what? Pulau Langkawi. Bukanlah.
These are some of the objectives.
Sorry?
Most probably these are some of the objectives.
Somehow for the objective.
Yeah.
Okay. This is refer to the functional process. Okay, of that machine. So this is meant by performance. So means that this machine can function to collect waste. So that is the first function. Functional parameter that you specify in the PDS. So this machine must be able to function in terms of it can collect waste. The second is must be able to convey waste. The third thing, separate waste. Number 4, contain waste. And number 5, remove the leftover. So this is the 5 function must be in that beach cleaning machine. You need to specify this in terms of performance. Okay. Doctor, what about objective 3? We didn't specify this. That is okay. But somehow in terms of performance in PDS, you need to put these things. What about, doctor, we didn't clear yet. What are the process involved? I will show the next lecture after this. Okay, so that you can do the functional process, so that you can have clear picture what you need to do after this. Okay. Second thing, the machine will be operated on the beach and the shore. So that is the scope of this machine. So at the beach and the shore, it might have a different texture of the ground. Okay. So that's why I need to consider as well. Okay, it can be operated at both beach and also the shore. The machine could run by electric motor. You need to specify. Okay, run by electric motor, could be run by electric motor or combustion engine. This is where options are given. You are allowed to make these kind of things, but you set the criteria. What is the criteria of the engine? Between the power of 1 horsepower until 5 horsepower. You are not sure yet, but somehow it is better to put a specific number lah. For example, previously you have gone through the component design class. I believe once you do the component design class project, especially the group project, you need to set what is your motor specification. You need to find the RPM and you need to set the horsepower of your motor. Okay, this is the two things that you need to set so that it is easily for you to calculate whatever the component design after that lah. Okay, but somehow for this PDS, you can put in a range to give a bit tolerance lah for you. So you can guess this is within 1 to 5 horsepower only. Okay, how to know this value? Go back to research background. Okay, you need to make research background. The machine could be pulled by on-beach vehicles such as beach tractor. So means that based on this statement, we could understand this performance means they didn't design a complete whole set with the tractor. No, this the kind of attachable, okay, attachment to the tractor only. Alright, the type of beach tractor is yet to be checked. Okay, so better, I think this is not the good statement lah. So better you need to identify the types of tractor used. Okay, for example, okay, because different tractor will have a different different joint to assemble and the different system. Sometimes probably this tractor using hydraulic, another tractor or maybe using pneumatic concept, maybe another tractor maybe fully mechanical one. Okay, so that one you need to specify lah. Okay, if pulled by tractor, the machine will be attached directly to a tractor 3 point and 500 RPM PTO. Okay, PTO driven. Apa nama tu? Dia punya coupling tu. The machine could be pulled or pushed by human. The operation of the machine can be auto, semi-auto, and the pickup weight for full load of this machine is 10 kg. Okay, the speed is 20 and so on. So I will give you this PDS, you need to go through so that you have a clear picture. So what are the parameters that it will be involved in your PDS? Okay, same goes to here, sizing. Okay, here clearly mentioned there is no limitation on the length of the machine. This is not a good example of PDS lah, because there is no limitation on the length. But somehow you need to specify, because of after this you need to propose your solution through your sketching. For example, your colleagues, your team member design a 1 kilometer length. Even though that is not make sense, but somehow it follow PDS. Alright, so that is the thing is not correct. So better to put some value. You put the maximum one if you do not sure yet. Alright, the appropriate length to be checked and so on. This is not a good example, but somehow you need to put some value that measurable. Okay, cleaning width not to exceed 1.8 meter. Then this is fine. Alright. So weight 2000 kg. Material environmental friendly, resistant. Okay, that is category. That is okay. Cost, estimated cost. Customer, who is your customer target? For these cases, for this project system design class, you can go to any plantations that require this machine and focusing on the SAMDABI. Environmental, what is about the environment involved? For example, our country, Malaysia, hot, rainy, high humidity at the plantation and so on. Okay, how many quantity? What is about maintenance? Easy to maintain. Maybe you can set how many parts required. Okay, all critical part must have spare part. Okay, this is for example only. Do not to copy and put everything. Okay, select which the one that suit you the best. Okay, you can add up based on your requirement lah. Okay, product lifespan, competition. This is competition, you need to check who is your competitor right now. How to know? Research background. Okay, market survey. So standard as well, how to check, doctor? Use pattern to check these things. Okay. Alright, service line and so on. Okay, you can read through this PDS. I will put in the group and as well as in the learning and in e-learning later on. Okay, is there any question on PDS so far? No, clear eh? Alright.
No, Doctor.
Okay, so we proceed to the next one. Kenapa saya nak cepat? Because Kabir tak ada kelas. So nak kena cepat. Source of idea. 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 Okay, just quick through for source of idea. So how do you would like to? I think you have done correct. Done this one. We skip lah. Okay. I will move straight forward to the concept generation. Okay, because later on after this you need to discuss on in terms of functional process. Okay. Nanti sama juga ni. Kejap. Okay. Alright, so we proceed with the concept generation. Alright, so this is phase number 4 after PDS. Okay, so after this, what you need to send to me, the first one is bubble map, the second PDS, complete set of PDS. Number 4 is the functional decomposition or functional structure. Okay, later on we'll show you what is the functional structure. Okay, we go first about the concept. So what is a concept? A concept is an idea that is sufficiently developed to evaluate the physical principle that govern its behavior. This is by Ullmann. Okay, so means that you will propose conceptually solution that will solve the problem or the needs provided. Okay, so that is the whole idea of the concept. Alright, so concept generation involve in this 5-step method. The first one, this is what you have been doing. Okay, this is what you have been doing. You clarify the problem. Through what? You understand it. You do the bubble map. You assign the task to every single person. And please, again, I would like to remind every single body in your group, okay, must do their job, their task. Don't protect your colleague. Okay, don't protect your member. It's not good for them. Because next year or later on you will become an engineer, it's not good for them. You need to know how to search all these things. Okay, and then you do the problem decomposition, you do the objective tree, okay, and then you focus on critical sub-problems. So what are the main key area there? Okay, so harvesting technique, so what we do that on the objective tree and so on. Alright, you come up with the kind of PDS. Alright, so right now we would like to detail this PDS. Okay, so after that, what you need to do, you go for the search externally. So what do we mean by search externally? You refer here, it lead users. Okay, so for example, based on the Samdabi is our client lah, basically right now. Okay, Samdabi is our client. He asked for harvesting, mechanization of harvesting palm oil. Okay, so what are we going to propose? So you can search externally based on this user. You go for Samdabi, so what they are doing right now. So you search for another company. So you search for externally parties. Okay, external parties. And you may ask also for expert. Who are expert for this one? You may ask the technical manager or other plantation. So what are the insights from them? Okay, you can look for search for patterns, Google pattern or other web of patterns. Okay, and then you do your literature, which is your research background. You need to conduct the literature search, and you need to do the benchmarking. If there are similar equipment or product that you want to develop. Okay, this is very important lah. This is part kita panggil sebagai search externally for benchmarking. Dekat dalam report nanti memang ada section in chapter 3 search externally. So you kena put the detail inside there. So termasuk juga market survey pun, competitor pun termasuk dalam tu juga. The close pattern to your design pun termasuk dalam tu juga. And then the second one kita buat adalah search internally. This is the creativity all about. You need to brainstorm with your team member. And once you brainstorm with your team member, every single person, even though you dah lantik a group leader, a group representative there, he or she is not expert as well. He or she is same as like you. Okay, because you appoint he or she, so you need to discuss, I think in a good manner. Every single person need to put a commitment. I can ask every single body in your group in a random time. That I can know who is contribute or not. Okay, so please make sure you give a commitment to your group lah. Okay, so this is search externally means that you create a discussion. Do the brainstorming part. Jot down and do your part to search. So you will help you basically. Okay, not directly, indirectly you will serve the group, but somehow you will help you yourself. Okay, and then with that, you will refer to the existing concept by searching externally, and you will produce new concept by your own based on this understanding. Okay, so that is really critical. Why we need to do this search to searching for external and as well internal part. Alright, so then you will need to explore systematically. So what do we mean by systematically exploration? Through using the morphological chart, okay, or morphology study. I think you still remember about you need to put in a table. So what is the function on your left? What is the option involved? Okay, and then lastly reflect on the solution and of the process, and give the feedback. Okay ke tak okay? So every single person need to propose their own concept. Okay. The first one, clarify the function. Already told you. So the first one is that you need to develop a general statement, define main function. Kind of the first statement performance inside the PDS, right? The second is create sub-function description. Okay. Order the sub-function. Function, we are referring to the function. We are referring to the function. Bukan numbers, not numbers, length and so on. We are referring to the function. Okay. Here is clarify the function only. Okay. Alright. So develop the general statement. This is what we mean by develop the general statement. Goal is to generate a single statement of the overall function. Okay. Basis of the statement. Okay. Functional aspect based on the RE. Okay. What is RE? I think mistakenly put here. Okay. Alright. So based on the problem, for example, here is coffee maker example. Okay. What is the input? Input here. Okay. Water and coffee powder. Simple, right? So that is the input. So what is the output that you want? Coffee. Done. This is what we did. We go to the hotel, for example, hotel for breakfast. We see the coffee maker machine. We would like to have a espresso coffee. Then we press that button. After a few seconds, we get our coffee. Done. So what we want to know, what happened inside that coffee machine? Okay, so basically the function involved in that coffee machine is first one, heat the water. Okay, the second function must provide the mixed coffee powder. Okay, and produce coffee using electrical power. So this is the phase involved. Okay, energy come from the electrical power. This is what we meant by flow function. Okay, or function of flow, either in terms of energy, materials and information. Okay. right? So in terms of material, involve water, coffee powder, and lastly coffee. Okay, all right. So create the sub-function from the example. Okay, this step we identify the sub-function needed. So guideline for this, an object that has energy, material, and information transferred from another object to another one. Okay, for example, coffee maker, people will switch on the coffee maker. Okay, will switch on. You press the button. Okay, then the coffee maker will boil the water and mix the coffee. So this is the information that we can gather. Okay, with the hot water and finally producing a cup of coffee. Okay, so the energy involved, switch on the heat to the water. Okay, all right. So order the sub-function. So right now, here we create the sub-function, and the third step is that order the sub-function. Okay, so once you order, you want to put a number. So this is the first one, boil the water. Second function, mix the boiled water, and the third one, filter the mixture. You cannot put the filter the mixture first. So you need to put in an order because that one is the function that you want in terms of sub-function. So at the end, okay, at the end of step one, there are a series of function and advisable to have a 3 to 10 function. Means that to boil the water, what is the sub-function involved? Electrical power, energy and so on. Okay, you need to put here. So it must be ready a cup there and so on lah. Okay, you need to have a container to hold the water. So those are the features later on in the details of the sub-function. Okay, so refine the sub-function, no right and wrong. Okay, concept here is very important, no right and wrong. But most importantly, the function decomposition. Okay, we are decompose the function, must comfortable with the team member. You cannot have one man show. Even though there must be a one that gives the idea, but you need to discuss and accept together. This is the really critical point. Because of, if you don't agree in terms of the process and in terms of the PDS, your concept solution, I can identify you are not following the discussion as well as the PDS. Okay? Because inside the PDS, the product design specification is basically a statement. Behind the statement, of course, you have a discussion. A lot of things have been considered before you come up with the final decision. So once you follow with that, I think you have a clear picture what are the things you been selected. A good rule of thumb, 3 to 10 sub-function. Okay, certain design require 2 or more overall function decomposition. Okay, this is we straightforward. After that, with the order and sub-function and so on, we already clear with the functional process, with the functional structure, we clear with that one. Now we move to the details of the, in terms of systematically approach, we are using morphological chart. Okay, so morphology, it refer to the function as well as the activities. Okay, so for example, to boil the water, how to boil water? How to boil water? Okay, okay. What is the you may consider by heating? So what the other else? So how, and how? So you give an option. Okay, so this is the first function. The second function, mix. What is the method to mix the coffee and the water? Using what types of physical, maybe concept flip, okay, maybe the pour to same container and so on. So this is the method. Okay, how? Same goes to the filter. So what are the type of filter you want to use? Okay, therefore you need to list down all possible method accordingly with the according sub-function. Alright. Okay, so search externally. There are at least 5 good ways. This is already mentioned to you. Okay, this is some of the pattern. Pattern is a good source of ideas, basically for search externally. Okay, the problem with the pattern is that hard to find what we want because not all the companies will reveal their design. Okay, so patterns are easy to read in terms of you can explore information, you can search information. What are the component involved? So what is how many component are there? Okay, types of pattern, there are utility function pattern and design from pattern. utility patterns are very helpful in development of ideas. Okay, utility pattern is very helpful. And the way we say, you can go straight forward to Google pattern. You click Google pattern, it will bring you to another website. You can go there easily. Okay, this is example of pattern from the books of Almond. Okay, so here the pattern, utility pattern number. Okay, so this is an abstract. I think you can read here first so that you have a general idea. So what this pattern all about? Okay, here is this previous pattern related to this pattern. Okay, this pattern is about what? Quick action bar clamp. Benda-benda that we use apa untuk clamp for clamping lah. Okay. Alright, so number 3, step 3 is basically search internally that I explained to you. Okay, which is we apply creative approach through brainstorming, no hindrance. Okay, jangan ada isu tak setuju dengan orang ni. Kalau tak setuju, please be in harmony lah. Okay, let's give positive feedback. Okay, don't scrap your idea, your other people idea. Okay, explore systematically. We are using the morphological approach, and then we concept combination table that I have told you just now. This is the concept for every single person. Yang ni saya pun saya rasa ramai dah tahu. Saya akan tunjuk lepas ni. Okay, and then reflect the result. Are your team confident with that solution? Okay, it can be this way. For example, later on, for example, you have 5 members in your group. Every single person will propose their concept solution through sketching. And then you can, before you do this scoring matrix, you can give advice to your colleagues. I think this is not a good sketch. You are not following our PDS. You can do that. But somehow must be in harmonious way. Okay. Alternative function diagram, alternative way to decompose the problem. Okay, this is the way how to refine and reflect the result. Okay, I will skip this one. Alright, I will skip this one as well. This is more in terms of flow of energy, material and information. Okay. Okay, sketches in conceptual design, importance to explain the function, forms, and components. Functions, forms, and components. You need to be detailed, to be certain detail up to self-explanatory. I see your sketch. This is what? This is number 2. Number 2 is what? You have kind of bill of materials there. Tables of material, tables of component. So number 2 refer to, this 2 is bolt. Okay. So what is the function of bolt? Where you located this bolt? So we have see clear in your sketch that the level of detail that I mean for. Okay. To the level of self-explanatory. Okay. You can do the self-assessment to check whether your sketch are sufficient or not. Alright. Okay. I will put an example of coffee maker case study. I think this is for I2D class also. I have shown this previously. So this is the way we come up with the objective 3. So basically what we want at last of our automatic coffee machine in terms of safety. So what do we mean by safety? In terms of it doesn't burn our skin and splash proof. Okay, here we might think splash proof in terms of the flow rate of the coffee pour to the cup nicely and don't splash. So you need to control the flow rate of the once pouring. Okay, and then the quality. So what makes the coffee is good? Okay, so in terms of coffee taste, what do you mean by coffee taste? Refer to the right temperature. So how to know the right temperature? You need to control the temperature. This is the objective that you set. Okay, good mixture. What about the portion? So you need to control the volume of coffee and volume of the water, the mixture. Okay, we want our coffee automatic coffee machine to be efficiency and convenience. So what mean by that? Efficiency and convenience. Of course, in terms of fast. Within 5 seconds, you can have a cup of coffee. Rather than you press the button, you need to wait for 1 minute. What for? Better I do by myself with the sachet and so on. Just stir it, pour it, and put the coffee, done. So why we need why we need automatic coffee machine? For easy for us, for our own convenience, fast. Okay, within 5 seconds, deliver already. So easy to use, just press the button. Okay, and easy to clean. and as well as automatic. This is the efficiency that we are looking at. Same goes to economy. Cheap customer to buy, affordable price and energy saving with the low kilowatt use, for example. Okay. Alright, so overall function diagram. Okay, this is the input that we want, and lastly we have the coffee beverage. So we might thinking of, so what are the flow which associated with the materials, energy and information should be in logical or temporal order lah. So this is the function tree that we are need to looking at. Okay, I think you have familiar with this. Okay, I will skip this. Okay, lastly we deliver the coffee, and because this is the processes, the function process, the sub function process. That's why ideally we involve 2 or more, but normally it depends. Okay, so for function structure, this is what we meant by flow of energy, flow of materials, and lastly flow of information given inside the flow of functions. Okay, up to these details. Okay, but somehow normally I will just focus on the mechanical part saja. Okay, but somehow this is really important so that we have clear picture. What is the energy involved? Conversion of energy. What are the conversion of material? What are the conversion information involved? This is a good example lah. Okay, for example, conversion of energy, changing energy from electrical to mechanical. Okay, for conversion of material, solid to liquid. So what we mean by solid to liquid? The coffee powder is in solid state. You want to change to liquid. Okay, so what are the element involved? Okay, same goes to the conversion of information, changing the signal mechanical to electrical. From trigger button, it will trigger the electrical part to flow to boil the water. So this kind of information we call as a function structure of flow information, functional flow. Okay, this is function structure. What I mean, you need to deliver later on. Okay, this is a function structure that I meant you need to deliver later on. Okay, this is for another example from the grocery cart. Okay, trolley tu. So satu untuk hold the grocery, support weight, hold large item, hold small item, hold soft and fragile items. And then another feature is that to hold child. Okay, this is 2 sub function that you want. Okay, in a grocery cart. Alright, okay, proceed. Okay, this is the morphological chart. I think you have familiar with this. Okay, so I expect, okay, you can come out up to this level by next week. You need to discuss further in your team. So here is basically the function. Where to get number 1, number 2, number 3, number 4, number 5 in your left. It can be up to 10 or more than that. Okay, no, ideally up to 10 Okay, but it depends on your sub function. For example, coffee maker just now, to boil the water. How to boil water? Okay, so here is your first option, second option, the method. Method number 1, method number 2, method number 3. Don't put, for example, okay, to boil the water, the first option here you put heater. Okay, heater. And then option number 2, you put heater, 2 heater. That's not make sense. That is only quantity. We are referring to the function. Okay, the physical shape, kata kerja, verb dia apa. Okay, we are refer to that. Shape, what is the difference between this one and this one in terms of shape, not the number. Okay, for example, this rake. There are student previously, this rake how many apa namanya, dia punya claw tu, dia ada 5. Yang second option dia buat ada 10. Not make sense. It serve the same function. Okay, same goes to here, rotating mover. You would like to have 6 rather than 4 or 8 rather than 4. It's similar. Okay, what we are looking at in terms of the function to serve this second sub function. Okay, this method will serve for the function. Okay, you need to provide this morphological study. Okay, there are later on we will discuss about the concept, sketches concept. Okay. There are how to know, doctor, the detail of the sub function. Okay, there are a method we call as the reverse engineering in the function decomposition method. Okay, reverse engineering is a method to understand how product works through dissection process. I believe you still remember last time you do the dissection process using the mechanical pencil or mechanical pen. What we asked for previously in the introduction to design class, you need to disassemble all the components and you need to put in front of you on top of the table, okay, and then you sketch every single component and then you need to write number 1 up till the end of the number of the component, and you need to list down, and then you need to assemble again, and then all these things need to be sketched. So this is the thing that we do by dissection process to have an idea what is the component, the detail of the component involved, how many, so what is used for. Okay, same goes to function that we are looking at. So logical flow of energy, material and information inside there, okay, between object or the change state of object caused by one or more flows. Okay, step in reverse engineering, I think this is common to you. The whole device, examine the major interfaces. Okay, right. And step 2, disassemble the part for more detailed study. You can sketch the single part. And lastly, examine each interface in terms of energy flow. Alright. This is example by the quick grip Irwin. Okay, example of the interface with other object at this particular the bolt table. Alright, you involve the part number 1 and number 2. This is here is the detail. Okay, part number 1 and 2 is main body. Alright, and then user hand, the energy flow, information flow, and material flow. This is the concept of the reverse engineering, or we call tadi functional process lah. Daripada atas tadi saya dah sebut, banyak saya sebut benda yang sama je sekarang ni. Energy flow, information flow, and material flow. This is how important you need to conduct in this way. Okay. Alright, for the flow of energy for triggered. So what is the flow of energy, information, and material involved? Force will be applied at 1A at here. Okay, at this point. By gripping trigger and main body, resistance, force felt by user proportional to clamping force. So this detail will provide you a clear picture of the whole function involved in your product solution. Okay. I think the last one, I would like to show you a video. Let me share a little bit. This is the last one. So. Okay. Stop sharing. So far, is there any question? Ada soalan tak? Lupa. Ada soalan? Saya cakap seorang ni.
Too much.
Too much. Too much.
Doktor.
Kejap, bagi saya habis share video dulu. Dengar tak? Ada audio tak?
Ada.
Okay. Iklan.
The Nerf gun is an important part of every toy collection. Good for target practice, Nerf battles, and reverse engineering them so we can see how they work. Let's get ready to have some fun.
This is one way and how to help you understand the subfunction. To detail the subfunction and examine the flow of energy, information, and material.
This specific Nerf gun is called the Nerf Elite Disruptor. 6 darts can be loaded in at one time. Pull back on the cocking mechanism, aim and pull that trigger. You'll see on the left side of the gun a bunch of holes for the screws. If we take them all out, we can get a good look at what's inside. Naturally, let's start with the trigger. You can see it's connected to a spring. You can pull the trigger back, but as soon as you let it go, it will spring back into its original position. you can see a bunch of extra plastic here. This connects with another piece, which I'm going to call the vertical slider.
Interface with other
This is normally held up by a spring. When the trigger gets pulled, the vertical slider comes down. I'm going to come back to this in a second. This is the piston. It fits inside the tube along with a powerful spring. The spring inside of here wants to keep the piston all the way forward. This is where the cocking mechanism comes into place. Notice this small block sticking out here. When you pull it back, the piston comes with it. You can definitely feel that the spring is resisting as you try and pull. Pull it back far enough and it engages with the vertical slider and hooks in right here. Now your Nerf gun is loaded and ready to go. One thing I want to point out is that when your gun is loaded, this orange strip will be visible from behind. Okay, here we go. Pull the trigger, the vertical slider comes down, which then releases the piston, which quickly springs back into place. All of the air inside the tube is immediately forced out the front onto the dart. Houston, we have ignition. Now after the dart fires, the cylinder rotates and the next dart goes into place. Now how does that work? There's a few more pieces below the piston to help this work. There's some supporting black plastic, white rotating cam, and the cam bar. When the piston comes out far enough, it will latch onto the cam bar. When the trigger is pulled, the piston is released and the dart is fired, just like we've seen before. Followed closely behind that, the cam bar comes forward again, which rotates the cam, which then rotates the cylinder with all the darts. Let's focus on just the cam and the cam bar. You can see each time the bar goes forward again, the cam rotates. The magic happens on the other side. The bar has a circular tip at the end here. The tip fits right inside these grooves here on the cam. As the bar goes back and forth, the tip will slide right through here. Now the bar is positioned in such a way that there's a little bit of pressure. It wants to go into the cam. As the bar comes back, it will pass over this edge and go further into the groove. When the bar goes forward again, instead of returning to where it was straight ahead, it will follow along this side. When that happens, the cam is forced to rotate. Let's watch that again. Slides back, pops down, comes forward again, and follows the curve. Mechanical devices like this fascinate me. I can only imagine how much work this must have been to design something like this and make sure it works correctly. Currently, you can get one of these Nerf guns off of Amazon for about...
Okay. Done. Alright, I think that's all. I think you will summarize your virtual prototyping hopefully in that way. Okay, is there any question? Ada soalan?
Tak ada, Doktor.
Tak ada Okay, hopefully I think better conduct discussion. And one more thing, I would like to say happy Deepavali for all the Indian. Okay, for this coming Thursday. I know some of you will have enjoy your holiday starting from this Wednesday. Okay, I will allow you to for next coming Monday class. You can have a discussion with your team, okay, with your group. But somehow we will meet first at this next Monday, and then I will allow you to be discussed in your group. And by the next Thursday, you can deliver to me all the materials, and you can give me short presentation. Bubble map, objective 3, PDS, as well as the morphology chart. 4 Okay, 4 items. Okay, clear? Clear ke tak clear ni?
Clear, Doktor.
Alright, okay. So with that, ada soalan? Okay, right. So with that, I would like to say thank you. And Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Bye.
Waalaikumsalam.
Doctor.
Doktor.
Guys.